Today we are here in Sumpter, Oregon. This is called the Sumpter Valley Dredge. And for those of you who are not familiar with a gold dredge, basically this machine, this was built in, I don't know, I think, let me get over here. I think it was about 1880 something when they built this. It would go all up the river and it would basically sift out the gold, to make a long story short. So it would pull up the riverbed and run all the rocks and everything through and pull out the gold and leave the rock piles behind. I don't know. Well, yeah, I guess you can kind of see. So all up and down the mountain here for quite a few miles, there are these big piles of rocks. As far as I know, this whole operation stopped in 1954, 50s anyway, I think 54. And they said no more. Oh, hold on, you got to see the train just a second. All right, more on that in a minute. Anyway, from the 1880s, I believe, up until 1954, they would run this dredge. This particular one, this is one of 3 that was in the area. This one, I think the other ones they dismantled, or they just, they fell apart. But this one has been sitting here all that time. And so when I was a middle schooler, I don't know, probably like 7th or 8th grade, they started restoring it and building this park here. And now we can come and tour the dredge for free 7 days a week. You just kind of make your own personal walkthrough tour of it, which is what I just showed you. And then on the weekends, there's gold panning, and the park rangers do a demonstration, show you how to do it. There is the Sumpter Valley Railroad, which is what you just saw. That train runs seasonally, and you can get on there and it'll take you up and down the little river here. And it's just a really fun place to come and hang out and just have a really fun history vacation that's, pretty close to how it's kind of always been. This town is just, there's no, commercial stores, restaurants, or anything like that here. It's all just family owned stuff. There's a few restaurants, a few stores, and they're all locally owned. And there's just a lot of fun things to do here in Sumpter, Oregon. So check it out if you're ever in the area. So a couple of weeks ago, I made a video where I talked about a book that I had a story published in. It was an anthology that was made for women who had experienced child loss and infertility. And in that video, I said that I had something special to share with you guys when I came out to Oregon. And this is it. This is the grave of baby Helen. She was the daughter of E. and M. Bledsoe, and she passed away in 1911. At the age of just a few weeks old. Now, I first found this cemetery in about 2007 or so. I was here with a group of people for a college, like a weekend college course, and we were learning all about the history of the Sumpter area and just, plant life and that kind of stuff. And we came here to this cemetery, and it was just such a very peaceful place. I've always been drawn to cemeteries. I don't see them as, scary places. I see them as peaceful places. And so I just kind of remembered it, kept it in the back of my mind. And then a couple of years later, I was out for a drive by myself, and I actually came back here. And I was just kind of traipsing around, and I came across this gravestone, and it really spoke to me because I had recently lost a baby. I had our first miscarriage, and I saw this gravestone and realized that this baby had lived just a few weeks. The others, another option is that maybe the mother just carried her for a few weeks, and they ended up making a gravestone for a miscarried baby as well. So either way, this is a little sweet little life that was cut very short, right? And it just really spoke to me. And I sat down by this grave, and I just thought about the mother and just how I felt when I lost my baby, and then I've since lost another. The people around you, no matter how much they love you and want to help you, through grief processes, especially in the case of something like miscarriage or infertility. Nobody really gets it, except those who have gone through it, right? And even people who just very much want to get it and just very much want to help you, if they haven't experienced it, then they can only relate so far. And I just remember how hard it was for my husband. Sorry, I got bugs. There's bugs out here. Imagine that. How hard it was for him our first time to give me the support that I needed, because he didn't know. He didn't know this baby. He was sad for the loss, but the grief wasn't there, right? Because he didn't know the baby yet. And the second time around, of course, was different because he was older and wiser. But anyway, I was just kind of thinking about that. And when I saw this gravestone and thought about the mother, and it made me, just think, no matter how many people love that mother, love baby Helen, there's just a special kind of grief with a mother for her baby that nobody really can get. And then I started thinking about the fact that if this baby died in 1911, then the mother is probably long gone, right? She has probably already passed away. And because I don't really see anyone else in this area with that same last name, I don't know if anybody even remembered baby Helen, right? Does anybody today know who this is? Is this, the relative of someone still living and still in the area who still comes and visits this grave? I don't know. My guess would be probably not, but I could be wrong. And so when I sat there beside the grave thinking about that, I just kind of made a promise to this mother that whenever I am here in the area, that I would stop and just remember her baby, because I would want people to remember my baby, right? And, people in my family know that I've gone through that, but does anybody ever really think about that baby, those babies that I lost? I highly doubt it. And so, anyway, that's why I come to this grave of baby Helen, is just to remember her for the sake of her mother, and be someone in the 21st century who thinks about that baby, right? I have a brother who is buried in a cemetery about probably, 2 hours or so from here. And that was in 1979. So who knows how long it will be before all of us are gone and his little marker still remains, right? And I would think how neat that would be if someone would just come and remember him every now and then. Grief is a hard thing. As you guys know, I have gone through the last year and a half or so of grieving my father, who passed away January 2022. And being here in the area where he lived, in the area that we spent so much time together growing up, it's been hard. It was really hard when we first came in, and just kind of going through certain places has been hard. I really, right now, if you asked me, if you said, here's a house, want to live in it forever here in Baker County, Oregon, I would say yes, absolutely. Being here makes me think that I want to stay, and I do in a way, but I want it to be for the right reasons, right? I want my motivation to not be because I'm trying to recreate things that are done. And I think that that is a step of grieving that that this trip has helped me with. There are things that just have to be done. And because of that, it does make it hard. Where do we say that has to be done, but that can be remembered? Because I do still want to remember him. I want to hold on to happy memories, and I don't want them to hurt. Part of the problem, and here we go, being vulnerable, part of the problem is there is nowhere like this for me to go and remember. So he doesn't have a grave or a grave marker or anything anywhere. And so in a way, there's not a specific place that I can go and remember him. But then on the flip side, when I'm out here in this kind of country and smelling the smells of the forest and the sounds of the different wildlife and all that is out here, I guess that's where I go to remember. This is all of the places that he loved, and these are all the places that we love to be together. And so, in a way, I guess all of nature can be a place of remembrance. But I think I'm in that state of grief where I'm just trying to decide what to sort of let go of and what doesn't necessarily need to be let go of. It's hard. It's a process, a long one. If I said this, you can probably figure it out by the photos that we're sending and the video that I'm taking, but Sumpter is an old mining area, and all of these rocks here, all these trailings, I don't remember what they call them, these piles of rocks, This is what's left over from that dredge. So earlier you guys saw us in that great big white building. I talked to you about the dredge and how it would leave behind these piles of rocks all the way up the mountain. Well, that's what it looks like. So I am sort of thankful that they stopped that because it's not very pretty. I really want to drive further on up this mountain, but one, my family is waiting for me down at the lake. I kind of took off on my own. And two, the last time I went up this road in this van, I got stuck. And that was earlier in the year, so there was still some snow and stuff, but I don't think I'm going to chance it since I'm all by myself. So this is the end of Cinderella's excursion alone. And now I will return back to my normal life.